Two sexy redheaded Weasleys.
I guess we can just like kind of start.
Yeah, how do you want to do this thing?
Well, I first wanted to show you what I got you real quick.
Dude, I've been like super excited about this. I don't know what to expect at all.
It's okay. So on one side it said, I don't know if you can just read it. It says, "Do you want to take pictures of me? Do you want to take pictures of you in bed?" And then on the back it's a picture of you in bed.
That is fucking awesome, dude. That is
Yeah,
so cool. Is that for me or for you?
that's for you.
That's for me?
Yeah.
Dude, that is honestly the best gift ever. You've got to take a picture of that and send it to me because
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send you a picture. I sent it to Joel. He said that you would like it a lot.
that's hysterical, man. That's like the best gift. I did not expect that at all. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, I'm surprised it
That
came out really well because I just bought some cheap thing online, like it put the picture in and stuff, and it worked out pretty well. Like it looks good.
yeah. Dude, they do a good job of those. I did one for my ex boss. I made one for him. And it was a similar thing where like I put the picture and I put some text on the other side and yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, what
Memory
you?
to a great weekend.
I know that was so fun, man. Catulos,
Yeah.
Catulos or whatever. That was
Dude.
smacking.
Oh, dude, it's
Best
so good,
Italian
bro.
in Jacksonville.
Oh, for sure. Catulos, dude. I honestly, I might hit that up tonight and get like takeout or something, dude, because their food truck style food is killer.
They have food. They have food truck like now.
Yeah.
That's
They
cool.
were actually originally a food truck. So they started out as a food truck and then they did the restaurant. So yeah, it's
Oh yeah, I
killer,
think I
dude.
remember you telling me that.
Yeah, man. I'm like, dude, you gotta definitely come back down and like hit that again with me for sure.
You excited about the show next month? New Brooklyn
Dude,
Tavern.
yeah. I'm really excited, man. Yeah, how are you guys? Are you guys pretty stoked about it?
Yeah, yeah. Like we did a gig last night, and it was like we were really sounding really tight last night. So I think we're
Awesome,
getting a
man.
lot tighter as a band, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun show, and then you get to like meet some other cool bands in Columbia, so it'll be cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm stoked, dude. We've been meaning to hit Columbia for a while, and yeah, I'm glad it worked out. So I've got like a hair in my mouth or something. I'm like trying to get up. Um, but yeah, no, yeah, we've been meaning to play it for a while, dude. And then like, yeah, I was like, dude, we got to get a show together with like once I met you at Jackrabbits when you're hanging out with the homemade haircuts guys, I was like, dude, we got to get something set up. Like, we can't not do that.
Yeah, that was so fun. Oh man. But yeah, uh so is there any releases of Dog Apollo anytime soon or yo
Should be. Yeah, some point this year we've actually got two songs ready to go that are like fully mixed, mastered, like pretty much ready to release. We are doing a little more promo on these songs that we have on our past releases. So it's going to be a little more, I guess, what would you say, like planning intensive than a lot of other stuff we've done. So it's taking a little longer for that reason. But yeah, we have two songs ready to go right now. It should be out no later than like fall, I would say. And then we've got some new songs we're going to be recording. I meant to ask you though, your last night you were doing a cover last night, right? Weren't you gonna
oh,
do a cover?
yeah, yeah, we did Spoon Inside Out. And I meant to
Dude,
get a video of it, but who did it?
oh man, how'd it go, man? That's like one of my
Yeah,
favorite songs.
yeah, it's so good. And I've watched like some of their live videos, and it's cool how they like change everything up, like with their songs live than the studio version, or like they like no, like the keyboard player for Spoon is like doing like he's like a DJ almost on stage doing stuff. Like it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
he has like
Oh yeah.
effect pedals and everything, and like all types of gear.
Dude, yeah. No, they're great, man. I don't know. Did I show you my I don't know if it's even possible to oh wait, here we go. I don't use Zoom for this very often. It's usually just for like conference calls and stuff. Did I ever show you this?
Oh shoot! Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Wait, that's all of them? Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's the full band.
So
But
you
yeah, I
met
saw
them?
them. No, they're actually just selling them like at the merch booth. I was like, that's cool. I can like because I wanted to get their record. I was like they were all signed like that day. So I was like it was just a bonus having it signed. But yeah, dude, they're amazing live. You're seeing them pretty soon, right?
Yeah, shaky knees. Yeah, I'm
Oh yeah,
excited. It's gonna be awesome.
dude, that's gonna be sick. Yeah, their live show is awesome, dude. Like I really hope I could see them in Asheville. They're doing a double set with Interpol, um, who's another one a band I really like. So I'm hoping to get tickets for that. That'd be sick.
Weren't you at the Orange Peel recently? Who'd you see there?
Yeah, man, it was funny because I actually I did my hiking trip, which I saw you on the way up. You're like, dude, what are you wearing right now? I'm like, dude, it's gonna get cold as fuck, so I'm wearing my thermal, and it was really cold, really cold, but um, but yeah, I
Were you
saw.
just
It was
like
funny.
chilling like on a trail like by yourself like
Yeah, well,
cold
I
as
had
hell?
days weren't too bad. Once you get moving, I mean, I was hiking a pretty good distance, over some pretty steep inclines. So I mean, you heat up during the day. It's more the biggest thing is just like staying warm at night. Like in a tent. That's when temperatures tend to really drop in that area. But yeah, I had everything I needed in my backpack. I mean, it's a lot of weight you're carrying, so that can make things a little trickier. But you're definitely glad you've got like extra layers. You got your tent. You're literally carrying literally everything in your pack. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it was amazing. So I did my hike, and then I went down to Asheville because I really love fly fishing, and there's some really great trout fishing up there. So I got to do that, but I had kind of an off day from that. And I was like talking to these people at this place called Luella's Barbecue, which is like OG Asheville barbecue.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
my spot. And they're like, you gotta check out the orange peel. I was like, yeah, I've heard so many good things about the orange peel, but I've never
And I was
been.
just there like a few days before.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
saw
Parcels.
parcels. Yeah,
Yeah.
how was that?
Dude, it was amazing. Like just like funky and tight and just fun. It was like a more organic Daft Punk kind of thing. It was like poppy and funky, but like real instruments and not as like
That's sick.
electronic. But who'd you see?
So yeah, no, I bet that was a good show. Ended up seeing, I literally just wanted to like see a show there. So I probably would have bought a ticket for whoever it was, but it ended up being this guy the night I was there, the free night I had. He played guitar and I think keys as well for a band called Grizzly Bear.
Oh yeah, I love
Um,
Grizzly Bear.
yeah, who I always really like their stuff. And he was just him. It was like a solo thing.
Oh
His
yeah, I think I
name's
saw like a promo thing for that when I was there.
Probably, yeah. His
Yeah, it was
name's
a solo thing.
Daniel. I think his last name, I might mispronounce it, honestly. I think it's Rossum. It's Rossem.
Did he play any Grizzly Bear songs or was it all solo?
No, it was all his solo stuff, dude. But it was killer. It was all just like him, like doing like, are you drinking out of my? Just, I see myself on your mug as you're like
I gotta
partaking from it.
I gotta wear it in a little bit, you know?
Uh, Dude, that is so funny, dude. It's just like me shirtless in bed as you're sipping from the glass. Like, but yeah, no, it was killer, dude. It was an amazing venue. I was so stoked to go because I know it's been like, from what I was reading about, it's like consistently ranked in like kind of top venues in the North America pretty consistently. So
Really?
like, dude, he killed it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, he killed it, dude. He was doing like 12 string acoustic. He did some piano stuff. His writing is really it's really beautiful. It's almost like a cross between like some of Tom York's more stripped down stuff, and like more like folky kind of stuff. So it was ambient, but it was also kind of folky. It was really good. So definitely check him out to whoever watches this. He's killer. Great show.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So yeah, it
cool.
was a great trip. It was a
I'm
killer
glad
trip,
that
man.
I'm glad you got to see. So, I guess that was my first time going to the Orange Peel too, and like that's a really cool spot. It's like chill, like it's still kind of a small intimate space, but like it's nice, you know, like it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I liked about it. That was kind of the first thing I noticed was like, I mean, obviously the repertoire of musicians that play there are just like pretty staggering, like pretty crazy, like just like the bands they get in there. But it's not like a huge room, you know?
Yeah.
But
It's not huge. It's like
but it
maybe 3,000 people can be in there. You think
no. I would say maybe this would actually be
1,500?
worth looking up. Yeah, I would say probably, yeah, somewhere closer to maybe even less, man. I mean, maybe even like
A
somewhere in the
thousand?
800 to 1,000. Because my band that I'm in, we've played a couple rooms that were like 1,000, 1,100. That I would say were probably maybe a little bigger than the Orange Peel. Although when I went, there was like seating, so it might have looked a little smaller. So it's hard to say. We might have to Google that. But dude, yeah, what I liked about it, what was really cool is that the bar was in the same room as the stage, so you could still see the performance and get a drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I thought
Yeah.
that was a cool setup. Like that was like kind of unique because usually
Get
when you're
get, get
going
your
to see
$10
shows, it's
beer
separate.
while you're like
Yeah, just like drinking, putting down PBRs, and you can go like you can go use the bathroom, just like right. It's all like right there in basically the same
Yeah.
room. Which in most venues you usually have to go to a separate area, but it was all together, which I thought was
Yeah.
it was really open, which was nice.
Yeah, so also like about your band, like you've been around for like a little while, but I like y'all don't have like a lot of music, for how long you're out. Like have y'all ever thought about like
Yeah,
rebranding, I guess, at all? Like and doing something different or
yeah. We actually have more music than our Spotify would lead you to believe. We had so three. So in the first, so I started this band. This was the first band I ever had. This was the first time I'd ever performed was in the Dog Apollo. And honestly, I never thought it would last as long as it has, if I'm being completely honest. I'm still writing under the same name, but the band has changed so much since I started it in, I guess, what's now would be 2012. That the first three EPs that we did, we released in like the first 3 years of being a band. Those are not on Spotify.
oh, okay.
So what you're seeing, so if you're going off of Spotify, if that's what you're using as your metric, what you're seeing on there is sort of, again, it's tricky because I've always written under the same name in all these different incarnations, but at this point it's such a different, me as an individual, I'm so different from a writing and artistic um, standpoint, and have developed so much that it got to the point where it was sort of like a group decision between myself, our management, and my drummer Joel. Um, I say my drummer like you don't know who he is, Joel.
Yeah.
Um, that it was like it just doesn't make sense to have these songs that are just that were written and branded and released under the Dog Apollo, but it's a different, and honestly it's a different band, and I think a lot of bands at this point just simply would have probably just changed their name and like what you said, rebranded. And we have done a lot of rebranding, from like a visual standpoint, from an aesthetic standpoint. That's
Yeah.
been the main thing.
I
But
was
the name is somehow stuck around,
Yeah, speaking about the visuals, I was curious, like, who kind of makes the Spotify canvases that y'all do? Like, does Joel do that, or?
Yeah, so most of that is yeah, pretty much Joel. Lisa does a lot of our visuals too, but as far as what you're seeing, yeah, as far as like what you're seeing, I would say on Spotify, yeah, I would say that's probably Joel for the most part. What you're seeing on there right now. He also does all of our like the cool tour posters. He probably did one for y'all for the Columbia. Um,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
and yeah, he does a killer job of that. He actually does graphic design like for a living. So
yeah, yeah,
um, yeah, it works out really well. So it's cool. I feel really lucky because like I suck at that kind of thing, and I literally have like two people who are like great at it between him and Lisa. Like that's basically kind of both their wheelhouses. So it's yeah, I'm super lucky to have them help with that.
yeah, yeah. If you could like do a completely different genre, like, what would you do? Like, switch up because you
Ooh,
do kind of indie rock now. If you could do
yeah,
like,
that's a good question. That's a really good question. I'm actually working on some acoustic stuff right now. I've always, I, it's funny, man, because I always, even with the Dog Apollo, a lot of the songs always started out, and were sort of born out of just me and an acoustic guitar. They end up being these more full, these are obviously more fuller developed compositions at the end of the day when you hear it on the record. But as far as like, I've always just loved writing by myself on acoustic guitar. And over time, these songs have kind of come out that weren't, I knew weren't Dog Apollo songs, but that just stood really well on their own. So I'm actually doing I'm sort of in the midst right now of doing a sort of like an acoustic. I've always really been into like, I don't know, like folk, but more of that kind of alt country indie kind of thing where it's sort of blurred between the genres, but it's a more stripped down, I guess, version of who I am. And yeah, I've been doing some stuff on a tape with my buddy Ben McLeod, who plays in a band called All Them Witches, who are killer. Um, so whoever's listening, definitely check those guys out. But he
Wait, is
has a
that's the band that's somewhat connected to a Band of Horses, right?
no, you're thinking of Magic Dust.
Okay.
Yeah, those guys are dope. We're playing with them in Charleston next month, which I'm stoked about. But yeah, no. So he lives in St. Augustine and has like a literally like a reel to reel like tape machine. I think it's a Tascam. It might be a Tascam. I don't know. People would be able to know better than I would, but it sounds fucking amazing. And we did a song straight live, like reel to reel, no over like. Well, there was overdubbing, but live take, like straight through, no click track, just me and an acoustic guitar, and it turned out amazing. He played some slide steel guitar on it, which
Yeah.
he killed, and it sounded so good. It sounded like from a I'm gonna be careful how I say this because people are gonna think I'm comparing myself to this artist, but I'm not. But from an auditory sonic standpoint, if you're looking at it from that standpoint, it sounds like Elliott Smith. Like that's what this guy was able to do with this reel to reel. So yeah, I'll probably do some more stuff of that soon. I'll probably end up releasing it as a solo project at some point.
Okay. You're doing a
But
solo project?
that's to be determined. Yeah, it'll just be probably an independent release that I do along with the Dog Apollo at some point. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, check it out.
Have you thought about getting into um do you kind of produce the music with Joel, or do y'all go to a studio, or like what's the?
Yeah. We it changes. I mean, lately Joel's been doing a lot more. You know, our writing has changed a lot. The way that we approach
Yeah,
writing.
because
You
I've
know,
listened to y'all's music, and like it does like feel like there's like different production type of like it doesn't feel like y'all just go like one way with like how to do things, if that
yeah,
makes sense. Like there's like
yeah,
kind of different production styles. Like it sounds like I don't know. I feel like even like artists who are really different kind of start to sound like similar because they use the same kind of people to record their stuff and the same kind of equipment. That I feel like y'all kind of do a little bit more, like I guess like more production styles. I guess I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know, again, man, it's taken us so long to get. It's been such a crazy journey, man, because like I always had the sound of like what I wanted or what I thought music should sound like and what our music could sound like in my head. And honestly, Smith, it wasn't until these past two songs, we haven't released them yet, but the ones that are about to come out this year, it wasn't until we did those two songs with Ben McLeod, who I'm doing the solo acoustic stuff with. It wasn't until we did these songs with him as a full band that like the sound in my head really came to life. So basically, I mean, the short story is like each of the records that you're hearing on Spotify as of right now, if you were to go on today, both of those compilations were produced, mixed, engineered, recorded with a completely different group of people. So there is a lot of like sonic and production differences between our
Yeah.
full length record that we released in I think 2016, I think it was, and like what we recently did and like a year and a half ago we released with the Isadora EP, which is much more like raw. Those were all like live takes onto like really high quality analog equipment and just left it as rock and roll as we could. But yeah, I mean, it's changed a lot. What we're doing right now is more of I would say more of a collaborative effort as far as production goes. I mean, I've always liked having. I always think it's a good idea for bands to have sort of like a, you know, an objective lens as far as producing goes. So, yeah, it'll probably end up being Joel, myself, because the way we're doing it now is we used to write in a room together, but now basically just because I mean we both work full time and it's really hard keeping a band together after like you turn like 20, I'd say like 27, 26, and a lot of people don't at that point.
Because like yeah,
So
reality kind of kicks in. And you're like,
it's a lot of work, man.
yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and that's when you see a lot of people either fall out or the people who are going to do it or just plow through it and stick with it. So, but yeah, so basically, the reason I'm saying is that the writing and the recording processes that we use now have sort of we've sort of had to adapt to just busy lives. So I will literally just write everything for the most part like on my phone now. Like I'll just get on GarageBand and I'll program the drums, I'll program everything, and then I'll send that to Joel, who will kind of do like the fine production and fine detailing on it. And then what we'll most likely end up doing for these next couple songs we're doing this year that we're going to be recording is we'll probably end up just taking those to Ben McLeod, and by the grace of God, he'll kind of hear something in them, and he'll be able to work with us and engineer it for us at Joel's house. So, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of just
you keep bringing up Ben McLeod, so this guy must be legit.
oh, he's awesome, man. Yeah, yeah, his it's kind of a funny story with him. I don't know if I ever told you this while we were just like hanging out, like getting high or whatever, but his his band, I actually picked up one of his records last night um at a record store. His band is like one of my favorite bands like ever, but I didn't know that. So basically like this is their live from the internet thing that they did. I think it was a record store day release
That's
that
a
they did
cool album
recently.
art.
Yeah, dude, they're fucking amazing. So they're from Nashville, Tennessee. But they're they I ended up seeing Ben, I think on like a guitar, one of those rig rundowns. I don't know if you've ever seen those. Pro Guitar does them on YouTube.
We were like,
Um,
these are my pedals, and these are like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I how did I find? You know who it was? My tattoo artist was doing some work on me. It was this tattoo. He's like, dude, you got to hear this band. They're called All Them Witches. They're from Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I became a huge fan, man. And I was talking to a group of guys. I learned through the rig rundown that Ben was originally from St. Augustine. So I we were at a practice space near my house, and like we were talking to this band that was in there, and they're like, yeah, like Ben McLeod, yeah, he's a really cool guy. I'm like, they're like, we were just talking about bands we liked, and All Them Witches came up, and Ben McLeod's name, obviously, because he's like to me, he was like a guitar god and still is. Like I would literally buy the blues driver I have, the Boss blues driver pedal. Like I literally bought because he used it on the rig rundown. Like
Really?
so, like he was like he's I think he's one of like the premier slide guitar players on the planet right now. He's an amazing guitar player. I think he's honestly one of the greats. So I reached out to him and was like, hey, dude, like I'm in a band. We're out of Jacksonville. Like I was talking to this band and they said like you mixed some of their stuff years and years ago. Like I don't know if you'd like our stuff, but here's some of our stuff. Like if you'd want to mix it, if you're ever down in St. Augustine again,
And
I
he
don't know.
was like,
Just kind of
hell
was,
no. He's like, get
yeah,
out of my face.
dude, that's what honestly, that's kind of what I was expecting. It was just one of those things where I was like, there's no way this guy would ever want to work with me, but I figured I'd try. It was just kind of a shot in the dark. And he got back to me that same night and was like, dude, like I'm a big fan of your band. Like I never told you, but like I've been following you guys for years. And I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. Like it would be like it could have been like fucking John Lennon's or Paul McCartney saying that to me. I wouldn't have been more surprised than I was. It was like, really? Like it was such a weird thing, man, because he's like a god to me, and like it was a very serendipitous moment. And so yeah, we just end up talking after that, and he was off tour, and he was in St. Augustine for a couple weeks, and that was when we knocked out the songs, and it kind of rolled from there.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. But he's awesome. They're one of my favorite bands, and he's an amazing human being. And yeah, you can YouTube him, and yeah, you'll see some amazing things.
Well, I'll have to do that
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. He's a student of tape too, so everything he does is like it's all ultra analog. Like it's the real deal, man. It's a lot harder doing things on the tape, to be honest. But it's what we've gotten out of it. It's been amazing.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you get that kind of more organic sound, and people kind of want that more now with that. Like, people are kind of going back to more older ways of recording, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely, man. I think it's it's weird because there's so many genres out there now, and there's so many different approaches to do things. And for a while we were doing the thing where we would, the guy we were recording with would just, we would basically like replace the drums and like, line it up on the grid, and
Yeah.
we were just it just we realized like it just doesn't feel or sound the same, when you do that. At least for what we do, there's some bands and some styles where that does work, but for what we do, we're students of like Nirvana, or Zeppelin, Beatles. I mean, you wouldn't it would be uh it would be a crime against humanity to computerize what they were doing or to line it up and that way. So that's where we came from. So to have somebody who gets that from where they come from, who knows what they're doing behind a board, and who can really bring that to life and make it sound like a real performance, which it is. But in it, to be able to convey that the way he does is yeah, it's pretty incredible, man. It's awesome to hear yourself back like that. Like that's how I sounded.
Yeah. That's
So
cool.
yeah, it's awesome, man. I get stoked. It's yeah, it's one of my favorite things, to do right now is recording for sure.
Yeah, it is fun, and playing live is just too. It's just I've gotten a lot more comfortable with doing it, and it's just I don't know. It's like therapeutic, you know.
Oh, for sure, man. It's all therapeutic. It's all just being at one with yourself and the
Though, so that'd be cool.
yeah. Yeah, are y'all doing covers right now? Because how many are y'all doing quite a bit of covers to fill in time, or are you just kind of throwing them in as you want?
Well, we try to do like gigs, sort of like what the Jack Rabbits thing was, where you play it for like 45 minutes and you could do all your original music, like a regular set of. But sometimes, like last night, we played a brewery, so it was like 2 hours, so it was like 7 to 9. So, like we filled it up with some covers, but we did kind of like a little different thing last night, where we did like an our first set was just original music, and our second set was just covers. So we just kind of changed it up a little bit, like
That's cool. That's a cool way to do it. Split it between two different sets.
yeah.
Awesome, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm stoked to see you guys on the 28th, man. We're all really excited. I'm hoping I can crash at your pad, dude. You'll have to let me sneak through the window.
Throw rocks up.
Son, who is that? Oh, it's just this guy.
I was just defending my property.
Dude, yeah, I'm gonna hear like a 12 gauge shotgun, like, get away from my home.
Are you trying to impregnate my son?
You brought weed, Dad. Did you bring condoms? We might have to edit some of this shit out, man. We're gonna get in trouble. People are gonna be watching this, like, dude, these guys are definitely like banging.
We gotta create that drama.
Dude, we've always been like fucking like we're just like, dude, you're one of the funniest people I know, dude. Like every time we're together,
Oh yeah, dude, you're
it's
really
like
funny too. I mean,
I just don't give a fuck, man.
I still remember like the CeeLo Green thing. That was so funny.
That was so bad, man. It's terrible what he did to those women, but like, I mean, I, comedy is a way to deal with the pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Why would he go on
yeah,
Twitter though and say that? Like,
he's a fucking idiot. I mean, he's an idiot for doing what he did in the first place, but then like, yeah, what was the tweet? What was the tweet again? He like, I don't even know.
it was like it's not rape if she's unconscious, and it's like that makes it more like.
How fucking like his stupidity is
He just immediately loses his spot on The Voice. Like,
well, and then you told me it was like he didn't realize he didn't have like the insight to like realize what a fucking like asinine thing that was to say. So you told me it was like his manager that said, "Hey, probably not a good idea to like post that." Like, dude,
people who
like
are watching
how?
this are probably so confused. Like, what are they talking about? It's like
Wait, are we live right now?
we're not live. We're not live.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna post this though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
I
you
I
want to
would
fill them
say
in on it?
I would say just like Google CeeLo Green, Twitter, like date rape. I guess. I don't know. Like that's a.
Yeah. Well, fill the people in for those who don't know, because when you first brought this up to me, I did not know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Would you
because
fill people in?
there's a lot of people that are not don't realize that CeeLo Green's
Yeah.
canceled, but there's also a lot of people that do know that he's canceled. He's just like one of those celebrities who's like really famous, but he's not like super in the limelight that like people are aware. Like there's still people that are like, I see you driving around. Like they don't really know that he is like a bad person.
Right, but we should probably tell the people listening what we're joking about right now, because it is a terrible thing that happened. He apparently
Yeah,
what
yeah,
he I guess molested or raped a
yeah,
few women
yeah,
that were unconscious,
yeah. And then someone confronted him about it on Twitter, and he was like, "It's not rape if they're unconscious."
and that was his response to it.
Yeah.
He,
Like he's gone to like court and everything for this too.
Unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. Like when you told me that, I thought you were joking. I was like, "There's no way somebody is that fucking stupid." Because he's not denying it. He's literally making an excuse for himself. Like, dude, there are no excuses to do that. Like, it's not rape if they're unconscious. Like, first of all, the like, just like the rationality behind that is like, you have to. He has to be a fucking idiot. But on top of that, he posted it so like literally millions of people are like seeing it. So his level of insight and his inhibition in regards to posting that was zero as well. He's just
Yeah,
an
yeah,
idiot. He's just a
yeah,
fucking idiot.
yeah. That's why he's not really doing much now. It seems like.
Yeah, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking crazy, dude. But that shit was funny. Yeah, we made a song. Yeah, yeah. But we're terrible human beings, me and you, dude.
Yeah, you gotta laugh about things, but I mean, it's like that happened also like a little while ago. That like it's had room to marinate where you kind of joke about it now, as far as like
Yeah,
uh, it's not like on CNN or something. You know, it's like
right, right. Well, I've always felt that way, man. I've always thought. I mean, I love laughing, and some of the worst times of my life. I think, honestly, I think humor is one of the best um, means of coping, one of the best coping mechanisms. Because I don't know, I think like if you can laugh about bad things happening, or can, it's not to like make light of terrible things happening. Like the reality is terrible things do happen, but just the gift of laughter, like I am so lucky to have that, because some of the hardest times of my life, like now that I learned to laugh about it, and being able to laugh in the moment about certain things is, you know,
yeah,
it's a gift,
laughter is amazing. Yeah, it's crazy to me that there's people that wake up they're like, I gotta crunch the numbers. I don't laugh at all. I'm never gonna laugh in my life. Like there's people out there
Yeah.
that are like, if you say a joke, they're like, wait, you're trying to be funny right now? Like it's like, dude,
Life,
relax.
those are the people who are still holding on to the ideal that life can't break them. But at the end of the day, life breaks everybody, and you're either going to sink or you're going to swim. And the reality is, I mean, laughter and crying go hand in hand a lot. If you'll find that like those times where we want to cry, a lot of times laughter goes with that. And Stephen Colbert said it really well recently. There was an interview he did with Dua Lipa, and she asked him the question like, how do you like how does laughter factor into your faith and the pain you've experienced? And he gave a really good answer, like, if you can bring that light into the darkness, like it's not a death if you can laugh about something. It's not the end. Like being able to laugh represents life within the darkness.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it very well, but he gave a really good answer to it. But I don't know. It's pretty cool gift for sure.
it's cool when comedians like randomly get thoughtful because you're like, dang, like they're thinking about this kind of stuff too. You know, they're not just like saying the jokes like to be like dumb. They're thinking about behind it. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think all those guys. I think that one of the geniuses of comedy is just that um, it's a self awareness of a truth and recognizing that truth, and through comedy, through the art of comedy, maybe you can open other people up to that truth as well. And there's a lot of ways you can do that in comedy. I think music is similar
Yeah.
idea as well, but yeah, all my favorite comedians or performers have always made me kind of think about something a little bit differently in a positive way, that might not have thought of before.
Yeah. Well, probably should wrap this up pretty soon. It was really good chatting with you, though. I appreciate you doing this.
Hell yeah, dude,
I'm
that
doing the
mug is,
I'm doing the awkward like ending of the podcast thing right now. Like,
dude. I'm having fun talking to you, man. I mean, I keep forgetting we're on a podcast. I mean, I just appreciate the discussion.
yeah, I would like to continue doing some of this stuff, like interview some people and like whatever. Like, I think it'd be kind of fun to do a little interview podcasty kind of thing for like just for my own personal whatever.
Yeah, man. Well, you're really good at it, and you're really good at just being casual and just being very discussion based, which I think is really the best. I think is the best approach for this kind of format. So you're doing a great job, man. Is this the first going to be the first one you release?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the first one I release. Well, what's cool about
An
this?
honor.
What's cool about this episode though is that I can tell if someone's like, "Oh, dude, that episode was so good." I can tell if they watched it because they'll bring up the CeeLo Green thing if they actually watched it. They'll be like, "Wait, why'd you just really start talking about CeeLo Green?" Like, if anyone watches the beginning and end, it's like, "Oh yeah, we're like talking about music, we're talking about this like comedy and stuff." And in the middle, it's like, or like three-quarters of the way in, it's like CeeLo Green talking.
Yeah. If you were just like skipping it as a
Yeah.
listener, it probably wouldn't really make much sense. But dude, I'm in love with that mug, dude. I cannot wait to. You gotta send me a picture of that, man.
All right, I will. I will.
You have to. You have got to send me a picture. Maybe a video, so it's like, or maybe you take a picture of each side because I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
people
I already have.
like.
So I'll just send it to you. I didn't want to send it to you yet because I wanted it to be a little surprise for the podcast. You know.
That's awesome, man. Thank you so much, bro. That made my night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure. I'll send you a picture. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap this up now.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
appreciate you coming on and everything, though.
Dude, it's great talking with you, bro. And yeah, can't wait to see you next month.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, I'll probably end up like texting you like right after this. So
Sweet. Hell yeah. Are you how soon are you gonna post this? So you have to do editing or
yeah, I'm gonna edit it a little bit
cool.
and try to figure things out with that. And like, so hopefully the next day or like a couple days or something. Hopefully,
Cool.
like,
Sweet.
all
Cool,
right,
man. Well,
well,
yeah, once we get it, we'll post it on the Dog Apollo page, man, and we'll give you a shout out.
awesome. Well, yeah, thanks again, man. See ya.
Absolutely, Smith. Love you, dude.
Love you too, man.
Talk to you soon.
Peace.